Hey, Ann Laughlin, Beacon of Hope, Women's Outreach, of course. That my branch is Women's Outreach. And no, I don't have a building. My mission is found here on the internet. And my goal is to help others that are going through hard times and to know that you can survive anything and you don't have to be a victim. It's your choice. Well, I correct myself. Victim means that you're in a situation where you have no control over it. But once it's over, however, that is when it's your choice. And you have to make a decision to not be a victim anymore. Yeah, there are always going to be some residual effects, but it's your choice on how you deal with it. You can ask for help. You can be strong enough to do it on your own. I'm sharing my life. I wrote a book, had it published before it was actually finished, because I thought I was going to die before it was published. Working on the revisions. In the meantime, right now, my goal with this channel is to share that hopefully it relates to you or to someone you know and that it helps. So, we are starting with Chapter 6, Learning About the Facts of Life. Oh, yoo-hoo! Wee! Sorry about the movement of the phone. Sorry about that one. I just looked and saw what I was doing while I was trying to turn the page. Sorry about that one. Yes, low vision, no glasses, broke them at my aunt's wake. Yes, I'm part Irish. My daddy was born on the reservation in Oklahoma when it was still a reservation. That's how old my daddy was. And I ain't telling you how old I am at the moment. But if you go back to the beginning videos, you'll know that one anyway. But that's okay. So, learning about the facts of life. By the time I was 15, I had decided it was up to me to protect myself. So I moved out on my own to get away from all the sexual abuse from all my men relatives. One sentence that is missing, and like I said, I didn't finish this book. There's things that need to be edited, revised. I'm working on that. But I was also trying to get away from my mom because she was an alcoholic and she was violently abusive when she was drinking. So, anyway. So, I moved out. I moved to Max Creek, Missouri. I met David Sharp on... Why did I use italics? Yeah. Low vision, trying to read italics. Not good. Anyway, met David Sharp at my work. I worked at Tantera Resort. David was my next boyfriend and then fiance. Of course, I had sexual relations with him and got pregnant again. Not knowing how a woman actually gets pregnant did not help me make good decisions. A girl in my elementary years told me to wash my mouth and put lots of lipstick on to avoid getting pregnant. Boy, was she wrong about that one. My mother refused to teach basic necessities, and I was not allowed to participate in sex education at school. On the day David and I were to be married, I was, in essence, left alone at the altar. Yeah, I was. Kind of sucks. David had faked his death by having someone call my parents and tell them that he was killed in a car accident. My mother called my older sister, Robin, because she lived in Max Creek also in one of the trailers at the trailer park my parents owned. So anyway, to tell me about his death, then Robin brought me to my parents' house in Lane Creek. My mother met up on the steps to the road when I announced that I was carrying a dead man's baby, because that's my focus at that moment. My mother pushed me back down the stairs. I was carrying twins and lost one of them. Martin and Jennifer. Jennifer didn't make it. Anyway, I found out that David's death was false by the time I was 6 months pregnant, while walking out of the market in Camdenton with my sister Robin. I saw David walking out of Walmart, so I told Robin, "I'm seeing a dead man walking." Robin told me, "No, he really is there." Afterwards, I yelled his name, and he turned towards me. The look on his face said he was busted. I was a foolish girl back then still. I let him talk me into believing it was all a mistake. We went back into Walmart's together, and he bought my unborn child Martin diapers, a baby teething toy, and a rattler, a little in the shape of a phone, a little purple telephone receiver. I let him drive me home and stay the night. He disappeared as fast as he reappeared in my life at that time. I woke up and he was gone. While pregnant, I turned 16 and quit school in 10th grade. May 27th, 1980. I was going into the lake of the Ozark Regional Hospital because I was in labor for the second day in a row. Day before, it's not in the book here because I boo-booed, I left it out, that on the 26th I'd gone into labor and they stopped my labor and sent me home because they said it was too soon. Well, and it doesn't mention that in this book either that within that time frame that I found out I was pregnant, I had actually found out how I got pregnant. So that meant I knew exactly what night I got pregnant because I'd only had sex one night within a 3-month time frame. So there was only one person. So anyway, I went into the hospital because I was in labor. Unbelievable pain in my abdomen. I thought my insides were being torn apart. Really did think that. Really did. At the hospital, I waited to be told when I was going to be put to sleep. I asked the nurse because even my own mother refused to be with me in the labor room and delivery room, and no sisters were near to be had for advice or help. The nurse asked me what I was talking about, and I explained what I understood on how things worked, and she explained how things really worked when it came to a natural birth delivery, that is. I cried out. I didn't just cry out, I screamed. I changed my mind. And that nurse laughed at me. She told me, honey, it's too late for that. Of course, my beautiful purple son, my son Martin, was born naturally that afternoon. Because of the abuse when I was younger, the pregnancy caused a lot of pain and problems. But God was with me. He helped me through the delivery. Martin was born handsome, but born with medical problems also. He was born with a hole in his heart. That's called a heart murmur. And his lungs did not want to fill with air at first. When Martin was first born, when he was only a month old, David came to visit, and I allowed him to meet his son Martin. David left for the last time and never came to visit Martin ever again. Over time, Martin's heart murmur slowly closed on its own, so he did not have to have the open heart surgery that they kept talking about to fix it. God watched over and took care of my son's Martin's health.